Today on Sugar Spun Run, I'll be showing you how to make chicken and rice soup. Hey Sugar Spun Bakers, Sam here, and today I am so excited to be sharing another carefully tested, well-researched, and perfected recipe. Today I am sharing an easy dinner recipe. This chicken and rice soup can be made in one pot. Super simple, super flavorful, perfect for cold weather. Let's go ahead and get started. Now today's recipe is all going to be done on the stovetop, and I am using my large Dutch oven. I recommend you do the same if you have one. For starters, we are going to be adding 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter to the pot. We're going to turn our stovetop to medium heat and we're just going to let that melt. Once that butter is nice and melted, we're going to be adding 1 medium-sized yellow onion. This is nicely diced, 3 chopped celery stalks, and 2 chopped carrots. This comes out to about a cup each, so about a cup of diced onion, a cup of chopped celery, and a cup of chopped carrot. Now we're going to cook these over medium heat, stirring periodically until they're nice and softened. For me, this usually takes about 5 minutes, maybe even up to 7 minutes. Once this is looking pretty good, we're going to add a tablespoon of minced garlic. We're just gonna stir that in until it's nice and fragrant. That usually takes about 30 seconds. All right, the next thing you're going to need today is 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. We're just going to sprinkle this evenly over our veggies and just use your spatula. You wanna get that flour nicely worked in to the mixture. This slightly thickens the soup. This is not a super thick and creamy soup, but it adds a nice mouthfeel to it. It makes it a little bit thicker. Really love what this little bit of flour can do for the soup. So as soon as that flour is nicely worked in, we're going to add our spices. I like to use 3/4 teaspoon of dried thyme, a 1/2 teaspoon dried parsley, 3/4 teaspoon of table salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon smoked paprika, which is, I like to call this my secret ingredient. It adds a nice smoky flavor to the soup. It's subtle, but it makes it so good. All right, we'll quickly stir these in while cooking. We're just gonna cook a couple seconds longer. I'm gonna get those spices nicely combined, and this really helps bring out the flavors. And then we're going to add 5 cups of chicken broth. And I like to gradually add this while I am stirring the pot. All right, I like to bring this to a nice boil, and then we are going to add our chicken and rice. We are going to add 1 cup of rice. I'm using wild rice, and this is uncooked rice. We're gonna cook it in our pot. And we are going to add between 1 pound and 1.5 pounds of raw chicken breast, or a combo of chicken breast and chicken thigh. And I like to return the pot to a nice boil. Once it's boiling, grab your lid and we are going to cover the pot, and we're going to reduce the heat so that we're just at a simmer. You don't want a rolling boil any longer. All right, now we just need to let this cook until the chicken is cooked through and the rice is also cooked. Now, after about 20 minutes, I will check the chicken to see if it's finished. I find it usually takes about 20 to 25 minutes. Now let's take the chicken. So I'm just going to be moving this over to a plate. I like to shred my chicken personally. Some people prefer to cut theirs into cubes. You can do whichever you prefer, but today I'm going to be shredding it. And you can see this is shredding just fine. So this is pretty good. I'm gonna shred all my chicken. And I'll cover my pot back up so that the rice can keep cooking. We'll grab the second breast as well, shred that. Okay, now at this point, I like to check my rice and see if it's tender and finished cooking. Some varieties of rice take longer. If it's not finished, I don't want to add my chicken back just yet. What I'll do is I'll cover it with foil and let it sit until the rice is finished, and then I'll add the chicken back at the end once the rice is done cooking. Now, however, this is actually looking pretty good, so I feel pretty comfortable adding the chicken right back to the pot. Now the last ingredient that you're going to need today is 1/3 cup of heavy cream. Now again, this isn't a super rich, creamy soup. It has, in my opinion, just the right amount of richness to it. So a little drizzle of cream, and we're just gonna stir that in until it's nicely combined. Now I like to let this simmer for just a couple more minutes, and all that's left to do is go ahead and dig in. All right, and that is how you make one of my favorite soups of the season. It's a little hot, my chicken and rice soup. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe, and if you try this one out, please leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. so good.